Well, her name's Rock Chalk. She's the talk of the town. We're the German Shepherd duo, always sniffing around. Smith and Wesson by her side, they ain't just for show. They're the muscle when she's hustling, solving crime on the go. She's got her boots in the dirt, she's cracking the case. A true crime queen with a smirk on her face. Loves her country rap bumping, got that twang and that beat. You mess around with her, you're in for a treat. Oh, F-A-F-O, better watch your step. Rock Chalk's on the scene, she'll clean up your mess. With her dogs and her charm, she'll track you down slow. Oh, F-A-F-O, yeah, you reap what you sow. She's got a badge and a sassy attitude to boot. Kicks down doors like she's in hot pursuit. Smith and Wesson bark, don't you dare run. She's the queen of the scene, yeah, she gets it done. Country rap on the radio, she's cruising the street. From the city to the sticks, she's the one to meet. Her motto's real simple, don't try no bluff. Mess around all you want, but you'll find out quick enough. Whoa, F-A-F-O, better watch your step. Rock Chalk's on the scene, she'll clean up your mess. With her dogs and her charm, she'll track you down slow. Oh, F-A-F-O, yeah, you reap what you sow. She's got cowboy boots and a badge of steel. With a heart of gold and nerves unreal. You thought you could hide, but she's always in the know. Now you're caught, son, F-A-F-O. So here's the Rock Chalk and her Shepherd crew. Smith and Wesson got her back and they're coming for you. Country rap in her veins, she's the queen of the scene. F-A-F-O is her motto, and she's living the dream. Rock Chalk out. Hey! She's got cowboy boots and a badge of steel. With a heart of gold and nerves unreal. You thought you could hide, but she's always in the know. Now you're caught, son, F-A-F-O. So here's the Rock Chalk and her Shepherd crew. Smith and Wesson got her back and they're coming for you. Country rap in her veins, she's the queen of the scene. F-A-F-O is her motto, she's living the dream. Rock Chalk out.
Hello to everyone. Okay, we're just going to get started. London Valdez was a 16-year-old from Hooker, Oklahoma, staying with her grandma, who wound up deceased. And her mom and aunt went on a YouTube channel and made light of a few things. I'm going to share that, just parts of it. To the right, we're going to tag his channel so you can go watch the whole thing. He did several. This is like, this was the second one, and then he just dropped another one that had to do with just the DA, but I already had this pulled up. So we got the same OSBI agent, same DA as Veronica Butler and Julian Kelly. So let's check this out. Get a chance, please go over and watch Joe Schmo. He did a really good job interviewing. I found it very interesting. The whole thing was very interesting to me. But I want you to go to his channel and watch it. So I'm just going to play this part that has to do, hey, Sherry Berry, that has to do with Buddy Leach, the DA, and his response to the mom. I'm curious what y'all think.
Overstepped our boundaries in any way. Like, I don't even know if you read all of it, to be honest. From the sounds of it, like So some of the questions that he asks in his response were answered in that email.
Shall we get into that then? Shall we look at his response? Shall we outrage chat? Because I was outraged when I read it.
Mhm.
All right. Let me.
I was just so shocked when I read it.
Yeah, definitely
The
wasn't.
anger didn't even set in immediately for us. We were just like, are we really reading this? Like, is this true?
Oh,
Is it serious?
Did
like
with
we
me.
read it,
I
like,
was.
different ways just to see if it like changed. And it did.
I was outraged immediately. Like, and I've shared it on a couple of other channels, Web Sleuths and Nights with King, and everybody there has been outraged too. Like, this is a district attorney that
The one
is
that's in charge, yeah.
yeah, the one that's in charge of prosecuting criminals and getting
The criminal
justice
in this
for
case.
victims. London is the victim in this. She is the one that is deceased and that was
Yeah.
fed meth and left out alongside the road to die.
Yeah.
She's the victim, but this is
Yeah.
what he has to say. Oh, now I got to go backwards to add stage. There we go. Okay. So this is from george.leach.dac.state.ok.us. Let me zoom in on this.
And I got that email address by calling his office and got it direct from them.
Email address.
Right.
We have backup.
Our
Or our
backup.
backup.
I was saying our backup has backup.
All right. So this is his response to that plea for justice for London. The OSBI is currently investigating this case.
I knew he was going to read it that way. I knew you were going to point that out.
When their investigation concludes, I will receive a prosecutorial that reflects the evidence that has been discovered. I will staff the case with them and receive their recommendations. I will staff the case? Who wrote this? Was it? I wonder if Buddy himself wrote this. I have
I mean,
questions.
he uses I a lot, so
In the meantime, my office will continue to assist the OSBI with appropriate court documents, which will allow them to retrieve additional evidence. That's good. That's a good thing. Two of my assistants and I went to Beaver County and met the OSBI and an investigator from the medical examiner's office when London was found. I've also received a report from the medical examiner's office, but I have not received any further information regarding this case. So tell me about when he and his two assistants went out to Beaver County.
that would have been on the 12th. We
Yeah.
didn't
didn't.
even know that until he said that in the email, and then we asked Agent Beck about it.
So I wonder if there was an investigation done on the 12th. Like, were there photographs taken? Was there, I mean, I'm sure there were photographs taken. Were there cast marks made of footprints and
No
tire
cast
tracks?
marks. See, we asked the same thing.
Because the cast marks could have told them exactly who was wearing the shoes that they claimed were London's, because the cast marks would have been able to tell the weight of the person wearing the shoes.
Plus,
Right.
we pointed out the fact that, you know, they claimed she was running, and I took pictures and I showed them. I said, look at these stride marks. I said, was she running or was she walking? And he was like, well, she might have been walking. I said, exactly. She wasn't running from this vehicle. It was walking footprints. And she's wearing Air Force One, which is the most common teenager shoes, and they're around London and Braden were around the same size. So,
So could they go out now and take cast prints now?
no.
Because the ground's been regraded now. So
It's
Right.
been rained on, it's been regraded.
Somebody went out with a grader right after. Like, how soon after did that happen?
The next after, like,
it was the day after we were there. We went out there on the 14th. Mitchell took us out there on the 14th to view the spot for the first time, because we hadn't even been told where it was yet.
everything seemed like a big secret, we thought.
Only to us.
Only to us. Yeah.
We found out later that it seemed like everybody else knew before we knew anything.
Yeah, even people.
I was going to say this, it could have been a coincidence that it was the day that they road grade. I know around here they have certain dates that they road grade. I don't know. I wouldn't put anything past that area, but it very well could have been the same day that they usually road grade. I don't know.
People that live there knew where she was found. And we just
Where, so speaking of notifications, so Brittany, you found out that she had been found first. And what did they tell you about notifying other family members?
No, I wasn't allowed to tell them. I wasn't supposed to tell anybody anything, not even my daughter. So then the next day, Sheriff Beaver, after the next day, Beaver County puts out a press release
On Facebook.
on Facebook. And I'm like, you guys just told me I can't even tell my daughter. So now I'm having to call my daughter so she doesn't find out on social media. But but even though it says they were involved in writing that, I think that they were, maybe, but I don't think they had an idea that that was going to be put out that day.
He said he didn't authorize it to be issued to Facebook. He didn't even know it had been put on there, according to that.
Yeah. But he didn't
So-
deny that he weren't a part of it. He didn't know that Mitchell was going to be putting that out there. Which I thought it was pretty strange that he made sure to make a report that said that their community is not in danger and it's safe. Just the down.
Yeah, because you already know the cause and manner of her death. Like,
Yeah. How do you know? Yeah.
Okay, so continuing with this letter from the prosecutor. In the meantime, the office will continue to assist OSBI. Two of my assistants went to Beaver County. If you have additional information regarding this case, please contact the OSBI and provide them with that information. How much information have you guys provided to the OSBI?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
And
That's what we kind of looked at that like, okay.
I mean, you could at some point pull up the 14-page document that I just emailed Agent Beck Friday. So, like,
yeah, I've got it ready to go
I mean,
next.
it's probably the smallest amount of stuff. Like, I
That's the
mean,
summary.
gosh, we gave him a whole flash drive full of stuff. Like,
Oh, and people are going and checking out the petition or signing the petition. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you. We need the community support.
when we further researching petitions that have to do with governmental change, and it's saying that like a minimum of 10,000 signatures just to get acknowledged, just to get rhythm going. Like anything under that isn't going to really make governmental difference.
I thought we were doing good at 1,000. When we read that, I was like, ooh, I'm like, my heart, I was like, dang, we're only
Only 9,000 more to
9,000
go.
off.
Okay, now we get into the fun questions from Buddy Leach.
And this is why you'll see right here, we need the community's support in all of this right now. We need
Yep.
people to
There needs to be a light shine on the entire panhandle, but especially law enforcement and this prosecutor right here who makes my blood boil with these questions. Buddy Leach says, to the mother of a 16-year-old deceased, beautiful girl, these questions, whose life was taken from this earth way too soon. I'm hoping for answers to the following questions. Why was London not safe at home? What?
Yeah.
What? You got to be freaking kidding me.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to know what even drew that conclusion for him.
Yeah. Or any of these. Like, what is the thought process behind this? Where's this going?
teenagers sneak out of the house all the time. I did when I was a teenager.
Me too. And I was a decent teenager.
Mhm.
I'm decent.
I was like an altar boy, like not literally, but I mean, but I snuck out of the house. I had a stick shift car, and me and my friend pushed it half a block down the road so my parents couldn't hear it starting up.
Premeditated right there.
Yep, it was.
I
It
think
totally was.
Yeah, I think most of us have not made the best decisions at 16.
Yeah.
And our brains aren't even fully developed to make.
Not until 25.
Yeah, there's still our right and wrong decision makers still being made. That's why Rochelle writes right there.
Hold on. So Salty Sleuth wants to know who asked these questions. This is the prosecutor that would be in charge of bringing charges against Jose and or Braden Brown associated with London's death. This is the prosecutor, the guy like that's appointed by the governor of the state of Oklahoma for this position.
This is who Agent Beck has to take everything he has to decide whether or not charges need to be made.
This is supposed to be an advocate for victims.
Yeah.
Not a victim blamer and a victim shamer. This is infuriating.
I shake when I read.
Yeah.
I shake when I read these.
Was law enforcement called pursuant to a report that she was a runaway? You don't know the answer to this question? You seriously don't know the answer to this question.
Which Agent Beck let us know that he reports to Parker Olmstead, who is
the assistant.
The assistant, Buddy Leach. That's my dog.
If you can hear a dog barking.
He's objecting also to Buddy Leach's email.
Exactly.
She's really upset.
She is pissed.
What action did law enforcement take to find her? Why don't you know this? How long had she been doing methamphetamine and what efforts had been taken to get her in treatment? This is mind-blowing. Who supplied her with the medicine that killed her? We have some ideas on that.
I mean, my email before kind of insinuated a possible scenario that came from.
Who left her alone and under what circumstances? We kind of know the answer to that.
See, we were confused if he meant as far as who left her alone to go.
I think he's referring to June 7th. I think.
Yeah, that's how we replied to it. Was that one? So, with those other questions, I wasn't sure who he was addressing. So.
Why was her disappearance not reported earlier? Holy mackerel.
Not one question about her. Not one about the guys. Nothing. I mean, I guess you could ask some of the other ones, but nothing directed toward.
I agree. It's really hard to look at them questions and think that the DA, Buddy Leach, is asking the mother of a deceased 16-year-old child. It's crazy.
What should really be the focus here?
I feel like the worst part is the last snippet that he says at the end.
Yeah, you got to pull up that part. That's the one
oh my gosh, yes.
That's the part that makes me want to
Oh my gosh, yes. It gets better, everybody. It gets better at the bottom of this.
Mm-hmm.
If you have information, please contact OSBI. Again, not my problem, not my job. It's the OSBI. Oh no. So I will not be able to share the specifics of the investigation once I've received the prosecutorial. What? Recommendation and staff the matter with OSBI. He talks weird. I would welcome the opportunity to meet with you before any charging decisions are made. Where did it go?
It's right above that and right under the questions.
Oh, right here. Thank you. I skipped right over it. London should have been in the safety of her home in bed and drug-free. London should have been in the safety of her home in bed and drug-free.
Let me remind you, she left the house around 11 a.m.
Yeah. 11 a.m. And what I get from that is I hear, you should have been a better parent. Sorry, you got what you got.
Hold on, everybody else didn't get to see that because I didn't share it on stage. There we go.
Or, everything is, his focus is, whether she had done meth every single day up until that day she died, whether Lennon had a bad history, whatever all this other stuff is before does not pertain to what happened after that. Her life is not measured by her history. That should have nothing to do with how serious you should take her life right now. That's what
the case. Like, he already has a preformed opinion,
Yep.
just like Hooker PD did.
Yep. Sorry, I got chill out right now. I'm starting work
Right.
up here.
You need a gun.
Yeah, and Tiny Tots, maybe you know, I think I heard them say that the sheriff that was in that area of Beaver County is now the chief of police in Guyman. And then the officer, the deputy that picked up the one kid that was walking that high-centered that SUV, that deputy is now the sheriff there. I think I heard that right. I'm not sure.
Dummy.
Yeah. I'm starting to knee slap. That's how you know.
Not a good one either.
Uh-uh.
No. Oh man, that should go on a campaign poster for whoever runs against him in the next election.
Yeah. Oh, I'm planning on being political for the first time in my life. All of a sudden, I am into politics. It makes me like I want to have hot tears coming out of my eyes because it just really shook us. Like, I feel like it was more directed towards me and my mom. Like, who's getting in trouble here, us or them? Like, that's what it almost like. Don't you want to know what happened? Like, not versus. I don't even know how to think right now about that. I got scared. It terrifies me that that's his response and his outlook about this right now.
Because we have to put all of our faith in him. Eventually, he's the one that makes this decision.
Right. And he's the one that tries it in a court of law. He's the one that's going to stand up before a jury and try and convince a jury that
Of something.
somebody else might have contributed to her death.
Jezebel, according to the mother, she's got several videotapes of conversations with the boys, especially one of them, where he admitted to doing meth with Brittany, several different things. So, could be implications. Again, I'm not going to play this whole video because this is on Joe Schmo's channel, but this is his second video. He did one and then he did another one. I'll show you, but go watch them all. They're pretty good. I just wanted to show what Buddy Leach was asking. I find it very crazy that he's treating a mother like this and asking her questions like that when her daughter is deceased.
But no,
I feel like he has to believe that first.
Yep, exactly. But no, it's London's fault. It's whoever's
our
fault
Like, even if it was our fault, even if I let her run the streets every single day, which is not true, or police would, or my mom, which, obviously my mom did everything that she could to try to contact the police, or they wouldn't be so irritated by her when you think of it that way. They wouldn't be so irritated if my mom just let her run the streets all the time and she wasn't calling them all the time to try to do something like a guardian should. My mom tried, and so I don't know. It's just a lot. My mind's starting to.
Yeah. Do you want me to show your responses to that to him?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right.
I think we responded pretty good. I think there's some emotion in some of the responses, but I still think that they were.
It was nicer than she put it nicer than what I was going to say. So
I'll go ahead and play it so you can hear Brittany's responses to Buddy Leach. But again, he's got two other videos. They're about 2 hours long. It's worth going and watching. Definitely worth going and watching.
and that was hard for her too, because she was pretty.
Sick. In fact, you see how I addressed him in the response, not as professionally as I addressed him in the first.
It was hard for both of us. We had to ask ourselves, like, is this okay? Like,
Yeah, I would have a hard time not saying, "Dear Mr. Leach, please check yourself before you wreck yourself."
Yeah, that's how I started it. No.
It's just the victim. There is no room. So, in all seriousness, there is no room for victim shaming and victim blaming. None. Period. End dot. That's just asinine that a prosecutor would put that in an official correspondence about a death investigation.
And I think that's the number one thing I keep hearing about that is that's victim blaming and shaming. That's saying because of this, I don't even know how to put it into words. Like almost like
Because she wasn't where we think she should have been, she's dead.
yeah,
Like,
and you should have been a better parent. Yeah. Or I don't know. I just was really shook. I did not expect that response at all. That's at least not to that extent. I at least expected a few questions about the actual.
I'm pretty sure anybody else would have started it off with, I send my condolences to the loss, like something to that, like some kind of empathy, you know what I mean? Like just from one human to another, like.
Yeah, and that should be the primary component of a prosecutor. Like he should want to be an advocate for the victims and their families. And I think I told you this the other day. Trina Kay in the Lori Daybell trials came over and talked with the families all the time on a regular basis. Some of them who had to get up on the stand and testify. And she was always over there giving support, talking with them, just interacting with them like a human being with compassion. And I see none in this.
I feel no compassion there. I
Like
feel
that would be
like his mind's made up, and that's what scares me.
Well, that would have been my first sentence, and it actually was when you agreed to come on for an interview. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Like that should have been first before anything else out of his mouth. I don't care if he wanted to be like logical and prosecutorial about it. Be like, I'm not sure how good of a case we have right now, like reading in between the lines type of thing. But
reading
the
this, like something.
yes, the very first thing out of his mouth should have been, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Even if his email only said, this is an ongoing investigation and I'm waiting for more information. And
Right.
that was it. Like the fact that he decided to follow his emotional self and respond emotionally with those questions is absurd as a law professional.
Mr. Leach, Brittany and I would love to answer some of these questions for you, a lot of which should have been answered by OSBI. Why was London not safe at home? Your answer, London was safe at home. In fact, London lived with my mom and Hooker because we thought it was the safest place on earth. London dealt with some alcohol use when she lived in Ponca City, and it was getting her in trouble in Ponca and at school. So we all worked together with OAA and decided it would be better for her to spend some time in Hooker.
A lot of teenagers get to drinking alcohol and doing crazy things. So is that unusual for a teenager? No. Do all teenagers do it? No. Do some? Yeah, they do. But to blame the mom is crazy.
And at
That's
first,
awful.
Brendan was only going to stay for a semester just to try to help her get caught back in school, try to get her away. And then she thrived. I mean, it was rough at first, but her grades started coming up and Hooker's small. They don't do a lot of that. I mean, it started working for her. And so we sat down and talked, and even London was like, I think this might be the best thing for me to stay.
Now, one thing I was confused about, never got the answer. So anyway, it don't matter. But I think London was doing online classes. I'm not so sure that she was like going to school there in Hooker. I remember reading that she was doing online classes. Hey, Gail Nelson, good to see you, Hawkeyes. Jane, haven't seen you in a while too. Hopefully everything's good with all you guys. We're going to continue to play this.
Right now, Mom. She hated Hooker, but she wanted to change. London wanted help
And everything was going better until February.
until February. I mean, it wasn't perfect. I mean, there, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, we all just want to be a little bit better today than we were yesterday.
yeah,
And sometimes I fail at that.
yeah.
I do. Was law enforcement called pursuant to a report she was a runaway? London was called in to Hooker Police Chief Scott Hedrick and reported that she had not returned home on Friday by my mother, Liz Taylor. We were in constant communication with her, and she continued to tell us through texts that she was coming back. My mom then called Hooker Police Chief Scott Hedrick on June 7th in the morning, and he never showed up. So my mom called Texas County Sheriff, and they called. Okay, so my mom called Hooker Police Chief Scott Hedrick on June 7th in the morning. He never showed up. So then she called the Texas County Sheriff, and they called Scott, and then Scott came and took a report. What action did law enforcement take to find her? Until your office called OSBI in on the case, it seemed that law enforcement was not doing anything. They continuously put London and our family down, treating her like just another delinquent in the community, saying things like, I can't wait until this child turns 18 and you act like she is dead already, which when he said that, she had been dead for several days. Also saying he knew the family of Braden Brown and just couldn't see them being involved in something like that. So law enforcement knew the Brown family.
Mm-hmm. He knew that
Knew
because Scott used to
grandpa.
be the Beaver County Sheriff, so he knew the grandpa.
And I believe he said he knew Leo.
Yeah, but he did say, "Oh, I know Arkwright real well. He doesn't seem like he would be involved in something like this. I just can't see that." Well, you're in the world of crime. You have to count everybody as a suspect. So let's not
Right.
too much bias and preformed like ideas were put into this. I think.
Yeah, in small rural areas, everybody knows everybody.
Mhm.
They
That's
do.
why things like conflict of interest exist, so that biases can't overtake your judgment.
Oh yeah, I was going to tell you that earlier. Is Parker, what's his last name?
Olmsted,
Is the OSB agent. He's also assistant DA. That's who Beck turns into. He's also the one in April. My mom found this out because she's done a lot of of the background stuff. That Parker is the one that signed off on Jose's what is that called, parole or whatever, on his thing on April 25th or April of 2025. So just in April, he let him go. And now in June, there's a girl dead that Jose was with.
So was he incarcerated before that and then he got let out on parole? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? And one of the agents involved in the investigation was the one who had helped get him
The
released?
ADA, Parker
The-
Olmsted.
Yeah, the
the
ADA assistant. Yeah.
Yeah, the one
Assistant
that
district attorney, okay.
the one that Beck reports to, the one he sends all this information to, it's the same ADA that
Signed the
that
papers.
signed the papers to release Jose to.
Be on probation. I said parole. Is that
Interesting.
correct?
It depends.
But yeah, my mom found that out, screenshotted it to me the other day, and I just thought, I was like, wow, that's really an unsafe feeling. Like, you just let him go, and it's the assistant of the guy that just wrote this email. They still don't think something's wrong with the fact that the guy that just got away with something 2 months ago, and now a girl, they're still looking the other way. Like, how many? Now, I don't think that was this for the shooting, or was this because Jose? If you look at
doesn't say.
Jose's criminal history, he's been in trouble for a domestic violence with a 15-year-old girl before. And
Yeah,
got
I
away.
remember seeing that restraining order application.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure how many teenage girls are going to have to be hurt or die. for them to put out a report that their community's not in danger, but it's happening. So, and they're looking the other way. And maybe if he had taken Jose serious and he'd been locked up and charged like he was supposed to, London would be alive. Who knows? Like, but I know that letting him go probably wasn't the safest thing.
So your response to how long had she been doing meth, and what efforts had been taken to get her in treatment? I love this response. London had never used meth before. If you look in Oklahoma, there are 0 treatment rehabs for teenagers dealing with any substance abuse or addiction issues. We know because we tried to get her help for alcohol use and there was nowhere to turn.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Huge problem.
And that I really do
It's a
want
huge problem. The DA doesn't know that.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. He doesn't even know there's not programs for teenagers, and it's Oklahoma. Like, you should know that. And that's also something I really want to advocate for London, is that, you know, times are changing. There's drugs out there that are dangerous. There's more drugs available than when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm older. I'm born in the 80s. You know, it was different back then, but this is happening now. Like, and there's kids out there drinking. There's kids out there doing drugs. They need help. And why not stop it before it turns into an issue? I mean, why not nip it in the butt when they're young, before they turn into dependent adults? Like, but, you know, unfortunately they're cutting mental health funds. So I'm kind of advocating for it at a terrible time, but it's not going to stop me.
That's a beautiful thing too. If you can turn tragedy in your personal life into an advocacy of something that of a higher goal. So somebody, one person, if one person can be saved by that, then that's a beautiful thing.
I had emailed you.
I do think it's great what Brittany's doing. I think it's horrible that the blame is being shoved on her, it seems like. I do think that's horrible. And listen, kids try drugs. She could have tried it before. We don't know. But that don't mean that she was a constant user of it. The way I understood is they thought they were being chased by the police and they might have swallowed it. I don't know. Swallowed the methamphetamine.
You the letter that I had written to legislators about the advocating for London's law.
Yes, we call it London's law.
Yeah.
And we call
We
it
haven't sent it yet because we're waiting to find out where this kind of goes first before we get into that and take on a whole nother beast, because we don't want our energies split into two. We want to be able to direct all of our energy where it needs to go when it needs to go there.
I've been calling this campaign kind of Justice Beyond the Drug. Because I think a lot of people turn away when it's not fentanyl, but all drugs are dangerous and her life is still lost by a drug. And so I don't know, like on Facebook, you'll notice I refer to it called Justice Beyond the Drug. That's what I call it.
I think a lot of people turn away the second that they find out, oh, it's just another drug overdose.
It was meth.
It was just meth. Another
Just
junkie
meth.
out there.
Yeah.
It was just times higher than and then lethal records indicate for other overdoses, but just meth.
Well, that's kind of the direction that email from Buddy Leach took. Like he went there like almost immediately. How long had she been doing meth exactly? And why wasn't she home safe and bad, drug free?
Yeah, like what a bold assumption.
Who supplied her with the methamphetamine that killed her? Braden Brown and Jose Majares were the last two men with her the morning she ended up dead. And then allegedly Jose allowed Braden to take his dad's red truck and take London with him. We have audio recording of Jose telling us that when Braden centered the truck wrecked on that dirt road where London was later found, that he was on a sick one meaning he was high on a drug trip. Jose also said Braden was hallucinating, saying the police were chasing him on a high-speed chase. Braden himself and his mom even admitted to us through text that he had been drinking with London and that he ate a bunch of the meth himself. So maybe he ate some and she ate some before. Go ahead.
mean, I feel like most common sense people could put that together.
Like he didn't decide to eat it for entertainment. He ate it because he thought he was being chased by the police and he wanted to get rid of evidence. And he says that, and I mean it goes into that in the next sentence.
Yeah.
Yep. He was on a paranoid sick one.
Mm-hmm.
Before jumping out of the car and running from the scene where he allegedly high-centered the truck because he didn't want to get into trouble for being dumb.
I also want to point out, because you used a really good word just a second ago, paranoid. So Braden is a self-proclaimed paranoid schizophrenic as well. And that came from OSBI. Braden told him that, and OSBI is trying to find out if that was a legal diagnosis or if that's just Braden saying that. But yeah, Braden he told OSBI that he's a paranoid schizophrenic.
Well, swallowing meth isn't going to help that that diagnosis. No.
Regardless, yeah, you probably should be doing that if you already have mental health issues like that.
Yeah. Who left her alone and under what circumstances? I'm not sure if you're meaning the location where she was later found or about another time, but if you're meaning at the scene of where she was found, then that would be Braden Brown. He was the only one with her, and let me remind you, he was an adult. He is an adult, and he was driving Jose's dad's vehicle that Jose told him to drive, gave him permission to drive. So why was her disappearance not reported earlier? As I stated above, London's disappearance was reported first on Friday the 6th and then again on Saturday the 7th, according to her grandmother, Liz Taylor. We never once thought London would just never come home. We tried to give her the benefit of the doubt that she would return. She was saying that she would.
It was really hard to write that. I mean, you can see you're getting emotional just reading it. It was extremely hard to write that. But that's the reality. Like, no parent says, I think my child's going to die today, you know?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't really know how to feel about that. Like, and there's kids that I see on there that run away and have been gone for 4 weeks and still come home. You know, nobody.
Yeah.
I just feel really like devalued and dehumanized in this whole thing. Like, not me, my daughter's life.
It's hard to fathom that. It's hard to comprehend that.
It's hard as her mom to be made felt like her life's not as important as everybody else's.
It is. It is.
My mom tried. We all tried. London had I work for some amazing people who help support me. Like, they've watched me try. Like, that's why I think a lot of people who don't know us and her story can be judgmental. But I think that what matters are the people that know me as a mom. They know my mom. They know us. They know how hard we've all tried. They know London. They know what a great girl she was. And, you know, that's the people I have to rely on, because you're going to have people like this that just assume, you know, that we didn't try.
Your comment saying that London should have been in the safety of her home and drug-free is absolutely true. However, we did everything we could to keep it home. In fact, her probation officer had just prematurely removed her ankle monitor that she had just a few days before she left on the 5th of June London had a safe home. London was a 16-year-old teen girl who snuck out and wanted to go hang out with some older, cool boys. But that does not mean that she should have had to die. And London would have been drug-free if adults would not have supplied her with the alcohol that she'd been supplied with, that we've been reporting to law enforcement for years, and the drugs that ultimately killed her. And more teens could get drug and alcohol free if Oklahoma had any resources for drug and alcohol treatment rehab for teens. Brittany is a children's counselor, so she was working with her practice to gain insight into avenues for her daughter, and there just were none.
And that's how I'm so sure. It's hard for me to be vulnerable and say I'm a children's mental health counselor, or worker, professional. And I do this all the time, and it is hard for me to be like, this happened. But I think the reason that I'm kind of good at what I do is because I'm a real mom, and I've went through real things with my kids, And but at the same time, I knew of all the resources out there. I know of all the inpatient centers and rehabs and stuff for kids. There are not rehabs, programs for kids and stuff. And there is none. Now there is Native American based ones, but you have to be enrolled in a tribe. You're not. So if you're not enrolled in a tribe, then you can't. But there's none. There is none.
So Brittany even went to a training through her job that was
ODEMSA.
Yeah, so ODEMSA is the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. In Oklahoma, they lump mental health and substance abuse because they understand that which came first, the chicken or the egg type of scenario. Mental health can cause substance abuse can cause mental health. They're one and the same. And she went before the state at the ODEMSA training, and she asked for resources for her child, and she was told there that there just is none in Oklahoma.
And they even sound concerned. They were like, fortunately there is none. Because I was like, who else better to ask than the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse,
leading this training.
Yeah.
So how do we keep the kids away from that, away from the heroin, meth, fentanyl, all of the things? Alcohol.
As someone who does do this stuff, to think that I didn't even know where to turn. I can't even imagine other parents. And I was, the judgment that you face as a parent. The first thing people are saying is, you must be a shitty parent. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. That's why she writes stuff. And so
you can say whatever you want to say on my channel.
Bleep me out, you have to. But
That's love.
Yeah, and so I know it's scary to be like, hey, what do I do for my child? I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get help.
I worked in mental health for 11 years, and I got out of mental health because I also have a teenage boy who struggles with his own mental health. And mental health professional or mental health worker, anything in mental health, when you are dealing with it at home, for one, it's very overwhelming to work it as a full-time job and then come home to it as a full-time mom. But there's also a huge stigma that if you work in mental health, you should be able to solve your family's problems.
Oh my gosh.
It's not true. And that is why conflict of interest exists, because as a parent or the family of the person struggling, you begin to think with your emotional investment into that person and not your logical education.
Right.
Not only that, I raised girls. Girls are rebellious, and they always think mom's in the wrong. I mean, especially if you're a single mom. It's hard to raise girls. Run into issues. I understand. I also understand that this mom deserves the answers. And to have a DA asking her questions like that, this is horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, it becomes, it is from the beginning very emotional, and it's hard to put those emotions on the back burner and deal with it clinically.
I left mental health in 2021, and because I needed to have my full ability to focus on my child. And because there was just so many, I wasn't able to get help for him because everywhere I turned to get help for him, it was, aren't you a professional? Why are you having these problems? Like,
I agree, Jezebel. Leach, one, didn't give her any information. No, he didn't. And two, turned the investigation around on her. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's exactly what he did. And what investigation? It don't even look like they investigated shit. What have they investigated? It don't seem like they investigated anything.
so yeah, as Brittany being the mom of London, those stigmas are real.
And I want to help other moms in that situation.
You'll get the chance.
Yeah.
Once we get justice for London, you will have the chance to do that.
Even if I don't get justice for London, I want to help other moms.
We're going to get justice for London.
Yes.
I'm not taking no for an answer.
This just in, our first look at Charlie Kirk's accused killer since his arrest.
Oh, who's been following the Charlie Kirk thing? You guys been following that too? Listen, please go over. Am I not on there? Please go over and watch the full interviews. Watch them all. When it comes to London, go watch it. Hawkeye said she has, yeah. I mean, listening to the mom made me cry. Really sad. And you already go through, because her daughter was living with the grandma, Brittany's mom. So not only is mom living away from her daughter, and in her mom's eyes, she was doing the right thing, which sounds like it was working. You know, I mean, damn. Why put so much on the mom? That's a lot. Yeah, that's true. The autopsy said it was accidental. You subscribe to him, all right. He's from Indiana and was passing through there when she came missing and started following this case. And then they reached out to him. It's sad. And yes, the autopsy saying it was accidental. There's a lot with the medical examiner's report and different things that was said. They kind of hint to him in the interview. Like I said, it's very interesting. I wanted to show you guys another thing too. And listen, I'm not going to give my opinion either way on this, but I've watched Jeff Hostoff before. We've watched him before. And if you followed this shooting at all, there's just a lot of things out there. And I'm not going to say Jeff's true, but he does give us some views here that I enjoyed watching. So I'm going to play it for you.
I can see right there, he's clearing the top. See him on the right side of the roof running. And you're going to see him kind of clamber down to the ground from there. Now, it looks right here, I don't know, see, that looks like his rifle in a bag or something that he just set down temporarily on the roof, and now he picked it up again, and he's got it in his right hand. So he's going to run up the hill a little ways there. And he's crossing the sidewalk. He's going up the little grassy knoll, folks. Okay, now that he's up on the grassy knoll, he's going to kind of work his way over to that sidewalk. And at first, I thought that looked like a security car, but I guess not. It's just a regular car. People are starting to evacuate the area now. And he's just walking very casually. Nobody notices anything about him. And that's all they have on him. So now I've slowed it down 5x for you, and I've zoomed in. Now it's going to be a little grainy, but I just want to see he's setting.
Now, this is from 4 days ago, and I don't think he was caught yet.
The rifle down right there on the roof. So it looks like it's probably in some type of a bag. Maybe not looking like a regular rifle bag. It's hard to say. But watch when he jumps, he's going to take it and take it in his right hand, and he's going to swing it back around as he drops down to the ground. See, there it is. It's hanging from his hand now. and he's just going to jump down to the ground there. And I don't know why he's taking so long to jump here. He's just kind of hanging there, and okay, now let's go ahead and jump. Down he goes. Some newer photos were released today, and this is showing the point of view of the shooter of Charlie Kirk. So this does indeed sort of confirm what I was saying last night about this very spot. And this is where the shooter was, because it gave him a direct line of sight down to Charlie. And I know a lot of people were putting videos out all over Twitter saying, oh, no, the shooter was over here. People were saying, oh, how come there was a bush here that got moved? People do all sorts of dumb things whenever there's a shooting. That they point to somebody in the crowd that like scratches his butt or something. Oh, that was the signal. That was a signal. It's unbelievably stupid. A shooter right here pointed his rifle right at Charlie right here, about 144 yards away. Doesn't need a signal from anybody. He lays down prone, aims his gun, and takes a shot whenever he wants to. It's just these conspiracy theories are just out of control. But you can see this is the line of sight. Charlie was sitting right over here, sort of on the right side, I believe, right there. And so direct line of sight, perfectly clear, you can see it. And if the security people had just sent a drone up, or just put a couple of people, bring in some extra security guys and put them on some of these roofs around here, they would have easily spotted anybody that crawled up here. So that's part of the problems there. And I guess these are markers that the investigators have put in place, probably to show either footprints. Yeah, so here's a close-up, I guess, showing their footprints. And one of the reports I read today says that they got his DNA from off of the roof. So they did capture something there. And then this morning, the New York Post posted this. They said this is exclusive photo. So this appears to be the rifle that was found in the woods. And if it is, I don't know. Not too many other people have posted this. And not sure why, or if it was given to them, why it wasn't given out to all of the media so that we could sort of confirm it as well. But we have seen this show up in a few places today. According to the ATF, the weapon is a .30-06 Mauser rifle. It's a bolt action. You can see it right here. And the shooter fired one single shot at Charlie, which hit him. Now, of course, a lot of other conspiracy theory people are saying, well, there's no way it would have hit him in the neck like that. People just don't understand the stuff and the damage that bullets do. Supersonic speeds, what can happen? It's amazing. You guys should watch more of those Mythbuster type channels where these people grab rifles of all different kinds and they go out and shoot up watermelons. And can a 50 caliber do this? How much caliber does it take to shoot through this material? Those are the kind of videos you should take a look at. Now, there's something that we need to address here, because there was some confusion about something I said last night, and a lot of you got really, really angry. I don't know why. But last night on my video, when I opened up the video, I referred to Charlie as a Christian apologist. And some people got so terribly offended on that. And I think it's because people don't understand what that means. It's actually a good thing, because a Christian apologist is somebody who goes around and they defend the Christian faith using history and philosophy and other things like that, things that Charlie Kirk does every single day. That is not a bad thing. And that wasn't me being divisive or judgmental or anything. So I don't know how in the world anybody out there could have mixed that up. So next time, before you go jumping on people, make sure you go do a little Google search yourself and say, what is a Christian apologist? I want you to go type it in right now. What is a Christian apologist? And that's a good thing to be one. And other well-known examples of Christian apologists are, for example, C.S. Lewis. It wasn't me insulting it. No. Why don't you tell me then that term, adults, 200 yards, car and drive away like I showed last night, which is what I thought he would have done. And I even said in my video last night, the guy would be a fool if he walked across the street and went into the neighborhood, because the idea is to get out of Dodge. You don't want to stay in Dodge. So why this guy did that, I don't know. One theory I'm thinking of is, does he live maybe in the area close by, or maybe even in that neighborhood? So that's why the cops were all over that neighborhood, scouring there and asking anybody and everybody for their Ring camera videos. So Utah Public Safety Commissioner Mason said today, this is really the key to what was going on. He says the shooter arrived on the campus shortly before noon local time, then climbed up to a rooftop overlooking the location of Kirk's event. After the shooting, the suspect moved to the other side of the building, jumped off, and fled into an off-campus neighborhood. And of course, that's where we say that he ran pretty much across this way, and I think he just jumped right down to the grass, ran across the street, dumped the rifle in the woods, and that's the last we know of him. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how do I know that's the spot where the guy ran into the woods? And this is where the police were stationed this morning. You could see several police cars there with it taped off in the background.
Much love, Jezebel. Get that work done. Work, work, work.
On there, and you see that chain link fence right there and that light post. I can easily find that on Google Street Maps view, and it's right behind the Losi Center there, directly across the street on that College Drive. That's the perimeter road that goes all the way around the building there. It goes all the way around the campus. See, here's the backside of the building. So he would have jumped from here and possibly down here and then down to the ground and run across the parking lot. And ooh, look at that. There's that fence right there. There's the light post, and then there's the wooded area. So coming back out here onto the main perimeter road around the college, this is that area of that fence right here leading to the woods. So the woods would be right there, and you turn back around, and there's your entrance into the building right there. And then, of course, the big news happened late this morning when the FBI released this first photo of the suspect. And they were able to state that they followed this guy.
Okay, we're going to stop it there. Let's see here. So, yeah, man, they released more today. They released the text messages where Tyler says that to his roommate, that he had to ditch the grandpa's gun, and it's just crazy. A lot going out. I watched another channel. I don't even know who it was. It came up and I watched it. Said the mom recognized the son and then grabbed the dad, and the dad said, yeah, very well could be our son. And they called Tyler, and he said he was home in bed. So anyways, kind of strange. Sad, very sad. Very sad. You know, I'm the type of person that I would not go to something that I wasn't interested in. So if I didn't care for the speaker, I wouldn't go. But everybody's gotten so radical. It's crazy. Gotten so radical. Well, I'll tell you what, we've been on here over an hour, so we're going to get off here. Again, good to see everybody. Jane, glad you came by. Gail, Hawkeyes, Tiny Tots, Deb C, Jezebel Witch, everybody. And a lot of people watch this when they're at work, so I'm going to try to leave it up so they can watch it tomorrow. At least try to get people over to see the interviews on Joe Schmo's channel. There's also a petition out there. The link is in Joe's channel. You can go sign the petition to help the mom try to get some mental resources for teens. Let's see here. Crazy. Yeah, I'm glad you caught a live too, Hawkeyes. Well, much love to everybody. We'll see you Thursday. Thursday it is.
Called on the neighbors, warned the town. The Rocket Show crew is messing around. They're chasing justice sharp and bright. Welcome to the fam, keep your truth in sight. Deb C's got receipts from 1882. Hacked the database with a can of glue. Hawkeye sees your blade from another state. Still found time to bake a cake. Nota's running, not from crime. She just forgot the noodles this time. Micah singing ballads to his cat. Solved the case just like that. Black opal, sneaky, mysterious style. Caught a lion through a bathroom tile. Christopher preaches and takes the stand. Turn water to coffee with just one hand. Mama lost us where the bones are hid. She just laughs and says, guess I'm part of the grid. Beach babies tanning with suspects in tow. Solves crime while surfing, justice on the go. We're rock, chalk, wild, weird and free. Breaking down lies, men waxing spree. Truth fully chaotic.
Really?
Got rage and style, she filed an FOI right from the mile. Lavender sweet till the plot gets thick. She solved the riddle with a selfie stick. Gail's got gossip, it's top secret grade. She cracked the case with a pink band-aid. Jane speeding through charts and maps on display. Racing for truth, she's blazing the way. Ostrichen boots with an attitude, pecking the facts and serving the truth. Pete Young is composing the Justice Jam with a mic in one hand and a jar of jam. Jezebel's casting spells in court, summoned a witness in unicorn shorts. Beautiful holidays just glowing bright. She don't argue, she sparkles you right. Leroy snoozing with a solved file stack. He solved 5 cases and still took a nap. American honey, sugar, sass, and stain made the perp confess with a mood ring. Tiny Tots rides in on a scooter of doom, throws glitter bombs right on target zoom. Girly girl's got a side eye that kills. She found the motive using puppy squeal skills. Rock Chalk Squad, we're a little crazy. We solve the puzzles and break the routine daily. We investigate, laugh, and keep spirits high. We're the funniest Justice family, give us a try. Chaos, Flair, witness law, we're Rock Chalk, stand back in awe.